Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Walt Disney World Resort and Festival Disney. In respect for the next performance, please turn off all cell phones at this time. We also kindly ask that you refrain from flash photography during the performance. Thank you. We would now like to take a moment to introduce our distinguished panel of Festival Disney adjudicators. Professor Keith Bearden, Professor Emeritus at Texas Tech University. Dr. Richard Good, Director of Bands and Professor of Music and Conducting at Auburn University. And Dr. James Tapia, Director of Orchestral Activities at Syracuse University.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our Festival Disney stage from Berlin, Connecticut, under the direction of Ray Sinclair, the Berlin High School Studio Jazz Ensemble 1.
compositions featuring Greg Costanzo on the Barry sax and Tommy Dorito on the alto sax. Our next piece, new arrangement of old standard entitled OP, or short for Oscar Pettiford. We're going to feature Ian Tamburini on the tenor sax. Oh, and Tommy Dorito again on the alto sax. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say that our trumpet for the judges, trumpet 3 and 4, could not join us, so if you're looking for them, they're not here. They couldn't make the journey with us. So I give you OP. Thank you. Thank you. We're now going to kind of slow it down a little bit with a brand new funk ballad by Bill Liston, entitled Summer Never Ends, featuring freshman Chris Hopfeld on the trombone. Our last composition today is a East Coast premiere of Matt Harris's brand new non-published chart, Lago del Oeste. We'll be featuring quite a few folks. Thank you for having us again. We're very thrilled to be here. This is the Berlin High School Studio Jazz Ensemble 1.
or testable activities. What could I possibly say to a jazz band, right? In my previous life, I was a lead trumpet player. I played here in the Orlando area, I grew up in the Tampa, Bradenton, Sarasota area, and I've had a few experiences. So I'm looking forward to working with you a bit today. Their director is pretty spectacular, isn't he? And he deserves his own round of applause. Now, I will say, as apparently easy as it looks for us out there for him working with you, you're making him do way too much work. My suggestion to you is this, that you guys take on a bit more responsibility and allow him the freedom to communicate with you in a bigger picture, but much more specific way. So I'm going to talk about the leadership and the pillars of a jazz ensemble in this group in particular. So there's a hierarchy of stylistic leadership, and it comes from the lead alto player, lead trombone player, lead trumpet player, and then it connects with the rhythm section. Lead alto and lead tenor work together, sort of in conjunction, and then everybody uses both ears to connect in, right? So that all of the decision making happens with those internal players. And then they connect with the rhythm section. With whom in the rhythm section do you guys really listen? The bass. Yeah. Because the drummer in a rhythm section like this is multifaceted. But the bass player has one job, really, and that's to lay down the rhythm. The pulse of the piece is all based on the pacing and the energy that the bass player gives you. And the harmonic changes are all driven by the bass voice. And so you guys have to make sure that you guys are living together. You have a feeling that everything locks in through that cast and crew, right? So lead alto, lead trombone, lead trombone, and lead trumpet, and then to the bass player. Then, like tendrils of energy, the bass player lays all of his energy out for the rest of the rhythm section, right? So the left hand of the piano is going to be connected with you, and then you get to comp and solo with the right hand, right? You get to color everything that's going on, right? And you can push them, you can drive them, you can accent them, you can color them, but everything you're doing is also based on what the bass player is. You know, and then the guitar player, I never know. No, you did a great job, really good. You comp beautifully, love the tones, voice leading is all really good. Yeah, everything in the rhythm section is all great. Now, here are the kinds of things that the leadership need to do. You need to set the dynamics. You need to tell us how much articulation is necessary. At the front end of the note, how long the note is going to be, and what kind of release we're going to use for the note. Okay? So that's just note. Then you choose phrase lengths. How much energy is there at the beginning of the phrase? Do we grow through the phrase? Do we retreat through the phrase? And what does the phrase ending say? How do we do this? How do we get out of this phrase and go on to the next phrase? So where he's so busy is telling you what to do at the beginning of the phrase, how to get through the phrase, and how to get to the end of the phrase, and then he's getting the pops and the back together, and then he's working with the drummer, and then he's looking he's all over the place. When he should be this like a Buddha of energy, right here, right, and he can just one little look. Right? Get you guys to do what you need to do and sort of help you through the process. Assisting you, enabling you, empowering you with what you should be doing. You guys are making him do a little too much. So I'm going to ask him in his work with you in the next couple of months to do less so that he can get more out of you. Because if you guys take on the responsibility, then he can start to really do other things. Which, here's one little thing. So in the background figures behind the soloists, who didn't make any difference who the soloists were, there were a couple of things that happened. He got more busy up here. He started, doing much more physically. He was required to do more physically because when soloists are playing, the group seems to me to go bland or pale. A soloist needs collaboration in order to be a real soloist in the jazz ensemble setting like this. So rhythm section, when the tenor solo or alto solo or even the bass solo was up playing, you guys went into a place like you were isolated and all by yourselves. And then all of the background figures, all the accompaniment figures, he had to do extra work, almost leaping in the air a little bit to get you guys to do what needed to be done to emphasize what the soloist was saying, right? So I think that when a soloist is playing, the group actually needs to energize more, needs to be hotter, and listening more, you in particular, whoever's playing the drum set. Now the bass player, you just lay it down, right? And you have to energize the chord change, the chord change, the chord change, the chord change. And if you're doing that, then the soloist at least has that to work with. But then the colors and all of the communication. You know, if there's a figure that the soloist plays that is repeated, a little sequence figure, you grab that and you run with it, right? And you talk back and forth. You help to support the soloist, no matter who it is, right? Don't go pale. Actually get hotter. Not louder, softer, but more intense. Can we do that last number, the Matt Harris number that you guys were working on? And let's just go, let's do the lead into the solo section. Let's do, can we start the pickup to 40, the syncopated pickup into 40? D, da, 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 da. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you're listening. You're longer, laid back, heavier on the rhythm than what they're doing, right? It needs to be unified here, not very saxophone, tenor saxophone, alto sax. You know, it needs to be a saxophone section. So let's try that one time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So he plays the lead in at 48. Then there's a response. You have to do. He's already given the audience what to listen for. So it has to respond in the same way, even though it's ornamented slightly. You have to articulate it with the same kind of energy, and then it's going to get handed off and you need to do it again. Can we start right at 48? Can you bring your pitch down just a little bit? And here's 48. 1, 2, 3. 48 right on the line. 2, 3, 4. So now you guys are you're listening more, and suddenly you're realizing that what you were doing kind of unconsciously, you're now doing consciously, and you should begin to assess more. You can be much more activated with it. Right? 1 minute? Okay. Let's go to the very first number that you guys played. 1 minute. Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes. It's the rhythm section. You guys are going to do more than you think, but with less. Don't be so busy. Be clear. Be super clear. All right? Can you start this? Can you just turn it on? The brakes. Again, you become an electric bass baritone sax player, right? It has to be together. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. What really needs to happen is while your ears are going this way, you're really going that way, right? So you're helping to lead, the trumpet voices as well, and they're locked. He's listening to the bass player, and the bass player and the drummer are connected. So things will start to lock in better. And then he can really start to listen, right? He's too big. He needs to focus in such a way that he can now begin to help. He can start talking about bass player, you need to make sure that you're giving them the leading tone to get to the from chord change to the chord change, so the soloist doesn't feel like they're all alone making chord change, chord change, chord change. It's supposed to be with you, so he can start to focus on this. And then the piano that's comping, you can also start to have voicing that helps to get the soloist from section to section, chord to chord. Rather than feeling like you're waiting for something to happen, you can actually help something to happen. You're an excellent jazz ensemble. Wonderful players across the board, everybody here. But it's really cool to hear all the trumpet sections, and all that. But they're the ones who missed out. So, thank you for being here, and again, make sure you congratulate your conductor at the end of the day. All right, thanks very much.